Hello? Hello?
Hey, man, what's going on? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. All right, guys. This is episode 2 of Wallas Madden League. I'm with the head commissioner, Shane, who is the Chiefs owner. How you doing, man?
Oh, I'm doing great, man. What's going on?
Man, just living life, man. So, just want to talk to you about these past 2 weeks in your league, from the overall development from the beginning to what is today, your present day. So, when did you decide to make this money league, and what did it take to get where we're at today?
Well, first off, we're not a money league. This league's completely free. It doesn't cost to play. It doesn't cost to do anything. The only thing is, if you want to get your players to be faster and basically build them up faster, that's where the whole upgrading comes from, where you put into the pot. But as far as developing the league, this has kind of been 2 years in the making. It started with a little bit of coins here and there in leagues, and then last year in April I developed it. Then we test ran it last year in Madden 19, and now we're constantly developing and updating what we're doing now. And each season I try to reveal something new, because I basically think of something new after somebody gives me an idea and I want to run with it. So that's basically it, just layer on top of layer. It wasn't built in one day, kind of like Rome.
Absolutely. And so from your, as we all know, you're the Kansas City Chiefs, and you took an early loss to the Jacksonville Jaguars. And myself,
I wouldn't call that a loss. I'd call that the Madden gods hating me. You can go back and watch that video and check it. It's terrible.
I did.
I did it.
There was that fumble in the end of the fourth quarter was really dirty to lose that ball. That's how you lost that ball.
That was all in overtime.
Yeah, that was something I've never seen.
As I tell people, it's not that I don't think it's going to happen. I expect it to happen to me, and then I prepare around it.
Absolutely.
That's what to happen. So all you can do. I try to live. Go ahead.
Absolutely. So, now you have the Raiders, who has been talking a little trash to you about he's going to win this game and be 2 games up on the Chiefs. So I need to understand from your point of view, what do you think of these Raiders, or I'll say the Las Vegas Gators, because he's now a Gators now. So
he's the Las Vegas Gators now.
Well, prior team was before the Gators.
Oh, okay. I figured so. So the Raiders, they got themselves an early 4th win, and congratulations. That's a really good job. I was out there. I may have lost the first week, but I put out a clinic. Me and the Jaguars put game of the week most likely. We still got to take
it. It is
a look.
game of the week.
I'm pretty confident it's game of the week, and we both streamed, so that means I'm going to get an extra camp ticket, and so is the Jaguars, as long as it's on his Google Sheets, which I'm 99% sure it's there. But as far as the Raiders, I don't look too far into it, I don't actually plan for these games, I have a good set of idea of what I'm going to do. It's I'm going to put the ball in the end zone, and then I'm going to make the defense stop them. That's my whole game plan. And usually it works. Usually the reason people have a hard time beating me, it's not my team, it's the fact that I have no idea what I'm going to do next. So they clearly can.
I feel you on that, and, even that you lost that first week, I still consider you as the favorite to win that division, and in time people understand and see that the Chargers team that he has built is very one-dimensional. If you stop Melvin Gordon, the game is completely over. So just like what happened today in this game against the Lions, Melvin Gordon rushed for 5 times for 4 yards. So,
that was very surprising, and the Lions thought I was being sarcastic, but I was dead serious, because every time I went up against the Lions, it was kind of a one-sided affair. That could have been just my team, or I would rely mostly on my skill. But me and the Chargers go back and forth. Last year, we faced each other every time in the division. He would come out on top sometimes. I'd come out on top. He never beat me in playoffs, so at least I have that. But he does have
right.
a Super Bowl trophy, and I don't have that. So all I have
trying
is
to
3,
get that one.
Honestly, I have 3 AFC Championship losses in a row last Madden, and that was all versus the Patriots. 3 years in a row,
Okay.
3 years defeated. And that puts a person down. But I tell you what, you can't stay down forever because in this sport, you got to keep going and look forward to the next day.
Absolutely. And plus, the Patriots do not have Gronk no more, so that's a different element to the game. So we got to see what the Patriots can counteract without having Gronkowski on his team. So, and then for the first 2 weeks, is there any team on the AFC or the NFC that is, in your opinion, a sleeper, the dark horse, or someone that could be a potential threat on both sides of divisions or conferences?
Well, we got our core group of people back. Not a lot of people are able to do this in Madden, but we got about 20 to 23 of our players back that we had last year. And then we got a few people that are just kind of new and learning the system. And we enjoy teaching this system to a lot of people because you won't find it anywhere else besides here in Wallas Madden.
Correct.
I would say there's a lot of sleepers. I'm seeing them right now. You got the Colts, who he's a toss. And honestly, I sent Tyreek Hill. I'm sure that made league news, did it not? Tyreek Hill to the Colts.
Yeah, he was. That was. And people said why did the Chiefs do that, but after they saw how, I would say, not juiced, but how stacked Darius Leonard was, they kind of see the bigger picture, and plus the Chiefs did get to a first and a second round pick to keep on building that core that they have.
That's right. See, we had Tyreek Hill. If you go back and watch that first game, the Chiefs, they preach excellence. You drop a pass, you do push-ups. You fumble the ball, you run a mile. Tyreek Hill dropped the ball on a 30-10 play in overtime, completely destroying our hopes. We decided to ship him off, because he hasn't been a great member of the team. He's really putting everybody down in the locker room, especially after last year. After last year, losing all these championships, he kind of gets into his head. Well, we saw an opportunity with the Colts. They look desperate. They look desperate for speed. And we noticed that they love to have speedy receivers, and they're all about flash in the pan. And the Chiefs are all about foundation and creating a market to where we can actually be a better football team. Well, we sent Tyreek Hill away, and we got a first round and a second round, and we also, I believe, got a 95 speed linebacker. And I don't know if you know this, but I was able to snatch Game of the Week from the Colts because he got Game of the Week, Darius.
I did see that.
He got Player of the Week, and he played for the Colts. So the Colts gave me a Player of the Week. So if you think about it, this is the greatest trade in Wallas Madden League history.
You pulled a big whammy on the Colts.
I wanted to announce it so bad, and I feel like I pulled off the biggest heist. See, I take a look at all the little integral things that go on all these teams, and I knew the Colts, he was just obsessed with Tyreek Hill like everybody else is. I don't really care for him, and I wanted him out.
If you look at each team, if you look at the Chiefs and Colts trade, the Colts with Tyreek, now they have a 99-speed Tyreek, a 99-speed Paris Campbell, and a 98-speed T.Y. Hilton to complement Ronnie Bass with that offense. I'm looking at all the stats from week 2, and the Colts won their game 61-0. And
I saw that.
It looks like they had an NFL record of 24 sacks in a game. And it looks like their defense, 2 guys both had 9 sacks each. So for them to win this game, it looks like losing Leonard is a huge piece because it's Darius Leonard, for Christ's sake, but they kind of helped out with their offense with scoring more than they should, because they struggled against week 1 against the Chargers. They struggled. So I feel like this game, They did. And, you know, I feel like your game against the Raiders, I want to say it's a redemption game. I feel like it's just for you guys to finally show some dominance and who owns that division. You know?
Well, yeah,
so,
because I know the Chargers lost, and I believe the Broncos lost. And, yeah, they did. They both lost kind of horribly. But this comes down to, these are big games, division games, because this is what makes or breaks the division. You know, if you lose to a division member, you know, you could be out of the playoffs even with a game a little bit better than theirs. But that's the way it goes down. See, I feel like I'm going to really try to take it to the Raiders. You know, I'm going to stick with my game plan of just making it up as I go. I feel like that's best. You know, I got a pretty good plan on defense. I'm going to try to kill his quarterback, and I'm going to try to kill every one of his members on his team. That way he goes at the regular season injured.
Well,
the Gators.
Okay. My prediction in your game against the Gators is a 38-17 win over the Gators. So I feel like it's going to be close, but I feel like experience will come through at the end, and that's when you guys will take away and pull away. So, you know, even though you lost first game, it's more of a waking up to see what went wrong. At the same time, there was some EA issues that prevented you to win. It was just more like, even though the Jazz are good, the game was giving more breaks than it should. So, you know.
And you know, that happened, you know, and I can recite back to a championship game where I got an interception, fell in the end zone, and got a safety, and we got the ball back. These things happen. You know,
absolutely.
I mean, it's something that makes you mad, but, you know, if you dwell on it, then it's going to happen again. So you just keep moving on and keep moving on from it. I think it's going to be a damn good game between me and the Raiders, but I think it'll come down to see what he does, because I know he's rebuilding as well.
Absolutely. Do you see in NFC, who is your top teams? You had to give a top three on the AFC and a top three on the NFC. Who would you consider as those 6 top teams in this league? Part of the AFC.
Like who's the top team in each side?
Well, in your own opinion, if you had to give up a top 6, even though there's 8 divisions, the other 2 divisions, there's always 1-2 divisions that's not as great as the other 3. So
I'm going to take myself out of the equation to be, you know, unbiased, because obviously I'm going to rate myself number 1, and that's
absolutely.
No fun. You know, I got to go with you know, championships. I have to. So on the AFC side, it's the Patriots first, Chargers second. You know, it's a wild card, but I've known them for years, and it's going to be Ravens/Colts. I put those 2 in the same category as a wild horse, like a wild card.
Okay.
On the left side, which is the NFC, you got to go with he was the Eagles last year, but he's the Falcons now, and there's a lot of new names over there, and it's kind of like they're all spread around to where they're all talented in each division, but it's got to be Falcons, and then you got to go with the Vikings, and then Rams, because the Rams was able to take me out last year in the playoffs, 21-0, and I give him credit for that every day. So I'd go with that: Falcons, Vikings, Rams, and then obviously Patriots, Chargers, Ravens/Colts.
If you had to make a prediction for this year's Super Bowl, who do you have yourself? You can even put yourself in there if you have to. Who do you see yourself?
I have to. I just have to. Well, you know what? You ain't gonna believe it, but I feel this is a good prediction. I would have to go with Chiefs versus Rams, because I believe it's going to be the battle of the chains. I'm going to get my redemption from the 4th year, you know, the 4th season last year, and I'm going to take them out.
Well, I feel it could be the Chiefs, the Jags, or the Colts against. In my prediction, I see the Vikings or the Falcons doing it.
Okay, Vikings or the Falcons, huh? That's pretty good prediction.
Vikings right now is under the radar. Even though he won 2 straight, he's not
under my radar. I know who he is. He's a good member. You know, he's able to do a lot with little. That's
yeah, I see that.
Some people have talent. Some people have lots of money, and some people have lots of money and talent. And if you got both of those things, you do really well here. But
absolutely.
I've seen last year, and this is where we're able to kind of differentiate and say it's not pay to win. Most of our Super Bowl losers didn't spend $1. Most of our playoff members didn't spend $1. That's usually how it works. It all comes down to skill. Yeah, it usually comes down to skill. Now, I paid, and I always make playoffs, but I'm obsessed with getting there, so I'm all about it.
Oh, yeah. Like, this one team that you did not say, there's two teams that you did not say, and they, paid a pricey cost for their team, and that is the Saints, and that is the Cleveland Browns. And I saw today that the Cleveland Browns didn't show up against the Jets.
That came down to user versus user, and if you can dissect these teams. Just because it's 99 overall on some of these positions, it doesn't matter.
I think he might be the first team with 99 to the first page and a half. So, anybody who doesn't know football or not as great, people might see that and think, they might be scared to play them, but whoever the Jets came in and put on a show and won 34-3. And then we have these.
Go ahead.
Say it again?
Go ahead. Keep going.
Then we have the New Orleans Saints, who's been the talk of the town about 31 other youths are donating to his cause. And, I looked at the books on the Saints, and their team is completely broke. So teams like the Colts, the Chiefs, a lot of teams who have cap money can go after a receiver like Michael Thomas if they wanted to next season because the Saints will have no money to pick him up.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, there's a flip side to that, though. Something I'm going to be introducing that way we have it. And we also have it on the wheel stems right now. And you can also purchase them. It's contract reduction, which is basically $1 for $1 million off the contract. You don't change the bonuses, just the contract signing. And you can lower that as much as you want, and that's always, you basically restructure all these, and you can always extend their contract by a year. It's on the cheat sheet. And 1 year is a lot more expensive than doing 3 years, relatively to how much they get bonus on a contract, And last year we had a problem where, this is why we do it this year like this. If you're in the final year of a contract, like Tyreek Hill, for example, right, and he's in the final year of his contract, we can't extend it. Once they get to free agency, we'll go right into it. It's a glitch we can't fix. But if it's 2 years, like Patrick Mahomes, which I did today, Patrick Mahomes will be on the Kansas City Chiefs for the next 5 years. And he's looking to win 5 championships while here, and he may just retire because he knows Tom Brady's pretty good, and he doesn't want to one-up him, Wants to let the man go out as a goat.
Right. But can you go through the trials and tribulations of this NFL season and get to that elusive Super Bowl game where the Chiefs has dying to go?
Oh, it's happening. I'm the guy that makes things happen. And when I tell you that I'm going to Super Bowl, congratulations on the NFC side. Whoever made it, pat yourself on the back right now. But the Chiefs are winning the Super Bowl. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that one. Chiefs are taking it. Doesn't matter the score.
So if you get there to the AFC title game against whoever and you falter, is that a losing season, or even though you made it that far, it's a season that was well accomplished but never got to your goal?
Well, personally, it's always about winning the championship, especially when you look at the pot size that we have going on right now. It's all about winning the championship. But when you think of it as a commissioner, I only care that 31 of my other users are having a great time. And if I can provide a great entertainment for them, then I'm happy with whatever outcome I get.
Correct.
Regardless of wins, losses, draws, championships, I believe that we have one of the best Madden leagues going today, just because everybody has a great time. The last thing I've seen a couple years ago, and you'll probably agree, when you play Madden and franchises, it's a grind. It gets tiring. It gets boring. It's the same mundane season over and over. Would you agree?
I agree.
That's why we introduced these upgrades, because in a regular Madden league, you'll play and then you'll upgrade at the end of the season, and then you kind of work towards next season. On this one, any team, anytime, anywhere, any person can make their team great. Doesn't matter. Even if they don't spend money, they can literally do their challenges, win free items, upgrade their tiers. We have a whole bunch of free stuff just so we can compensate for people that, like, me and Penny and other people that do like to invest and make a big pot.
Correct.
There's a whole bunch of ways to have fun. You just got to look for it.
So, what is your final prediction of this season? What do you give yourself as a record for the whole year? What do you have yourself as?
Well, can you elaborate on that more?
What right now you're 0-1. What is your finish record going to be when it starts playoff time?
Oh, what's my finished record? You know, even though I looked at the schedule, and I got the Chargers twice, I got the Raiders twice, I got the Patriots, and when you got those three opponents, you kind of have to go, okay, it's possible I'm going to get a loss on those. You can't go, I'm going to win it, no problem. I try to have that all-win mentality, but I'd say usually I end about 12-4. You still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so I was getting another call. That's why I was doing that. I'd say I'd probably finish 12-4 or 13-3, depending on how the luck goes with some of these games. But usually that's what I'd finish. I'm not the guy that's going to be 16-0, 17-0 because everybody makes mistakes. I'm not perfect.
Right, because I'm looking at your first 5 weeks. And, you play the Jags, then you play, the Gators, tonight or tomorrow, then you play the Ravens, and then you play the Lions, and then you finish with the Colts week 5, and then you have a little break because you play the Texans, Broncos, and then you play the Packers. Then you got a big game against the Vikings, and then you got Chargers, Raiders, Patriots back to back to back. So
it's a tough one, but that's the thing is I'm a seasoned vet. These tough games are nothing to me. And last year it was 48 hours. This year it's 72. So you can only imagine how intense it is right now. Imagine it was like last year. We're just constantly updating, and we had to slow it down. We try to be the league for adults and families and jobs. It's just too much sometimes. But with those people, with the Patriots, Chargers, and Vikings, here's how I look at it. Some people look at that schedule and be like, oh, man, I'm screwed. I'm going to lose. This is not a good thing. Me, I'm mentally prepared for the AFC Championship already. I look at these opponents as, hey, these guys are practice for me until I get there. And once I'm ready for them, I can strike when needed and finally pull that championship into Chiefs Kingdom.
So it's set in stone that you will be in the Super Bowl representing the AFC.
It's set in stone. I will be in the Super Bowl season 1, despite injuries, on myself. If I break my thumb, who knows what happens. I can't play the game with broken thumbs. But I will play with my feet, no problem. And I will still win the Super Bowl playing with my feet.
That means all the other 15 other AFC teams, they have no chance against.
It's a bad deal for them. I feel super bad for them, but I feel great that they get to watch, me, their commission play in the Super Bowl. Yeah, they get that joy. 30 members, 31, including the guy that gets to play against me, they should give themselves a round of applause. That's an accomplishment, getting to watch me play in the Super Bowl. I mean, wouldn't you agree?
I definitely agree. I was going to ask you, but I just saw your roster. I was like, okay, because he gave up Tyreek Hill, who is going to fill that void? But I said it too fast, and there's a 7-foot white dude from maybe Russia named Frank Johansson.
Is he from maybe Russia?
He looks like it. I never heard of a guy named Frank Johansson. So
Frank Johansson is a 7-foot monster that we picked up today at a Denny's parking lot. You know, he was sweeping the parking lot when we were out there. So what are you doing?
He's going to be a serious problem.
Oh yeah. Me and the coach started discussing. He said, "Why are you sweeping this parking lot?" I said, "Well, I'm looking to become a Kansas City Chief. That way we could sweep the rest of the schedule away from that overtime loss." And we signed him right then and there. We didn't even know if he was good at football. That was just too quick a comment.
I feel like after with your team, after your adjustments and your development, I don't think you're so done upgrading this team. But as I see as right now, that Mahomes and Handsome connection could be a nice advertisement for the league, you know?
Yeah.
So even though you have Harmon is like the Robin in the situation. Right now it's Mahomes and Handsome. So, you know, even though he's 7 foot tall, you know, when they're tall like that, it's hard for them to fall. So we're going to see how Frank does through this season. He could be that AFC Offensive Player of the Year.
He could be, and that's really what we're shooting for. You know, we want to see the players of the week. You know, I wish we could play in the NFC too. That way, all 4 players could be the Kansas City Chiefs. But that's okay. We'll just take 2 a week. You know, no problem.
I feel you. That
Nicole Hardman's been learning Russian, you know, from Frank Johansson. You know, and Frank, he can't really read English, so he kind of just runs out there wherever he wants. And for some reason, he seems to catch all of there. We've been practicing with him today, and he was catching things in the bathroom, you know, all the way from the field. It was amazing. You're going to see some magic out there. You know, honestly, I'll just give my game plan right now to the Gators, because that's the kind of I'm a generous person, as you might say. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take Patrick Mahomes, and then I'm going to take Frank Johansson. I'm going to throw the ball 80 yards. Frank's going to catch it. Then the defense is going to come out, and the Gators are going to try to play. That is our game plan today.
So what you're saying is that the Gators shouldn't even come to the game tonight.
Oh no, they need to come there. That way I can get my challenges, you know, because I feel that I would like to enjoy playing a division rival, you know, because the Gators, you know, he's a good guy, he's a great guy. I'm looking forward to seeing what this upgraded team can do. But no, he definitely he's not one of them people. He's not a pushover. But I can tell you that I'm confident in what I'm about to do, and just like I feel you'd be confident walking into like an elementary school ready to start a fight. You know, you don't think anyone of them's going to take you down.
Absolutely. And I feel like half the team is from Europe because we got a corner named Bucky Shoesmister.
Yeah, Bucky Shoesmister. He's a good man. He's a good man.
So, you got a lot of Europeans on your team. He's a black European. It's a black European.
Hey, man, that's what we get. You know, Tyreek Hill and Kareem Hunt, you know, they were great members of our team, you know, and then, you know, they started getting all bad, hurting our team and our morale, and then we realized it might just be Americans, you know, so we went over to Europe, we went to Russia, and it's the same over there, only these guys are pretty good guys. So,
and then you must have went from Russia to Africa, because now you must have upgraded this guy, because this guy is a 7 foot outside linebacker. I don't know how to say his
TK Pascoe.
Whatever his name is, he sounds like a side dish you get at an African restaurant. He
actually works at he works at the same Denny's as the other guy. They're both
okay.
Yeah.
So there must be some kind of import thing going on at Denny's.
Well, the good thing is, you know, in this league you can upgrade weight and height, you know, and that's how they're 7 foot. You know, That's how you upgrade with that stuff.
For fans and users who doesn't know that, how much does it cost to make your team higher, your player taller or heavier?
Well, we just got done with a special, but for coins, to upgrade attributes and whatnot, that would be $1 for 100 coins. For trade vouchers, as you've seen, they're needed, and in this league, it costs a good penny to actually get these trade vouchers. But you can earn them from streaming and uploading your tiers and whatnot. That's $1 for 25. Then height and weight is $10 for 25 pounds and 1 inch. And then you got your wheel spins. You got your wheel spins, which vary from 1 to 5 to 10, 20, 25, and a $50 wheel spin. And you can look on it on obviously the cheat sheet. It's always updated. And I'm always working on it, trying to make better adjustments. Because the best thing you can do is not get stagnant.
So someone had a corner. Let's say the Ravens or the Gators has a corner who is 6 feet and want to make it 6'5" or 6'6". How many coins would a user have to give to the point system bracket?
They would not be able to buy it with coins. Same
as
camp tickets.
It would be money.
Yeah, that would be, that one would be money. That would either be from the tiers or from the wheels. And you can win wheel spins from getting your highlight in your tiers. You can obviously purchase them, and with, camp tickets I forgot to mention, 25, 5 excluded, and 20 non-excluded. And the way that works is you can spread the attributes all over. It doesn't just have to be 5 speed, 5 acceleration. It could be like 3 speed, 2 acceleration, or 1 speed, 4 acceleration, or jumping. Whatever excluded they want to do. But the only difference is you can't spread that one camp ticket on 2 players. It's 1 camp ticket per 1 player. And we also have, you can use a max of 5 camp tickets on a player per edit, which is an edit limit of 5 upgrades per request. That way we stay format with it.
Okay. And then one final question on your team. Is there any spot or any position on your team that could cost you a game or your biggest hole or biggest need?
Honestly, I can't give anything away because we got a 7-year plan. And I'll be honest with that. A lot of people, and you'll see this in every single league you've ever been in, and it comes with inexperience to what we do here. A lot of the people that were here last year understand the way that we're working. So a lot of people go all out. They'll trade their stuff away, and they'll try to make a big team and go year 1. You've seen that, right?
Absolutely.
Yep. Well, when you don't make it on that, you're kind of screwed for year 2, 3, and 4 unless you've done so well on challenges to finally upgrade and keep going. Or, of course, you could throw into the pot, which creates for season 2, which is fantastic for all of us to enjoy. But you just got to plan for each season, 1 day at a time, and then have it work around with you. That's the way this league works. There's hundreds and thousands of limitations. What's the word you're looking for? Possibilities. That's the word I'm looking for. There's a lot of possibilities on how you want to build your team. Are you a running team? Are you a passing team? Are you a big defense team? Are you a balance team? It doesn't really matter what team you pick. It matters what you do with what you earn. And if you can earn right and earn it good, you're going to have a great team in this league.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, I got all what I needed from the AFC West, AFC champions, the Kansas City Chiefs. They are going to the Super Bowl no matter who they play. They're going to win it regardless. And then they'll come back next season and win back to back to back. Am I hearing that correct?
I mean, I'm not a guy that predicts the future. I make the future, and I tell you, when push comes to shove, I'm a bigger guy. People ain't up to shove me. But I gotta mention, the one guy that could throw a lug nut in my whole plan is the pesky Patriot.
The Patriot.
He plays. Here's the deal. He plays legit. He's one of the most legit players I've ever seen. But he's just an asshole the way he plays. That's the best way I can explain it. You just hate him. I hate everything about him. I think he's a great guy. But if I have the chance, I'd break his thumb so I don't have to see him in any week because he just plays so. And you know those type of players. You know they have a certain style that you got to change everything you do just to try to have a chance against them.
Yes, every year, I understand that. You know,
every year we have shootouts, and it's great.
Well, now it's time for you to, show power. The Patriots in real life are known for Spygate and the Deflategate. Maybe you might have to do something with the Patriots dubs. So you just never know. You never know. You might find out one day, hey, guys, I can't play, or if the user Patriots plays his game, half the team might get hurt because they're injured all on 10. So you never know what could happen with the Patriots. But what I'm hearing is you want a nice bounty against the Patriots, so he's not at full strength against you to jeopardize your Super Bowl run.
Listen, here's the deal with the Patriots. I'm going to take my win regardless. It's either I get more points than him or he misses our scheduled game and I got shit to do the next day. I'm going to take my win because I know for sure if he does not make our time, you best believe I'm busy. I'll put that in stone too. I'm busy, whatever's going on, because you better make it. You better make it. I'm very, very punctual, and you better be there on time because if you ain't, I have some bad news for you. I'm busy. I'm taking the fourth win, and hopefully the challenges that come with it. I'll take those. I'm all about give and receive, and if I can receive more than I give, we're good to go. The one lesson, I like to leave everybody with a thought, and it's a good thought.
Okay.
In Madden, always take your fourth win. Always take your fourth win. But in this league especially, always take your fourth win unless you're really confident that you can get the challenges done that week and you really want to play. And you really want to get your tiers. Because when you miss out on a game, as you know, have you seen the rewards for the diamond tiers? That's when you get 500.
I think everybody is going after that right now.
They are. So me and Finney bought our tiers because you can buy those. And the whole point behind those is, say you're at 477, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you need 23 tiers. Well, you're on the last game of the season, and there's only 10 spots available for it. So you just go ahead and buy those tiers and get your little prize. And, you come out on top with the whole thing because it comes out with a start of $100 wheel credit. But we only give 10 of those away now a year. And me and Finney already got 2. So there's only 8 spots out of 32 left. So when people tell me, go ahead.
No, you keep going. My fault.
So when people want to do their tiers, and we have a structured set on the PPS, the personal player sheet, and I'm creating new and better ways to try to get this information more convenient because we are working on an app. That way we can make this more convenient and make this an actual game type for everybody. But when it comes to trying to get these tiers and get your stuff in, I suggest trying to get it in quick because obviously tomorrow's the cutoff. It's 48 hours after advance to get your videos in, and the chargers will check that. If you start missing games, start not being able to get them because you did take the fourth win, you'll start realizing it gets harder and harder to keep up, especially at the end. So only 10 people are going to get it. 5 of the first 5 split a pot. I think it's up to $44 right now. 5 people split it. And then 5 people split the 6 through 10, which is a smaller pot for that, which I think is up to $20. So don't quote me on the prices. The prices constantly change, with people updating and constantly putting money into the pot. So.
Okay, well,
it's one of those things that everybody has something to enjoy, and even, as I tell people, even somebody going 0-16 in our league can win money, and nobody else in the Madden community can say that.
Okay, well, I respect that, and I had a nice, discussion with the commissioner of the league and the owner of the Kansas City Chiefs. I thank you for coming on the show of the Wallas Madden League. And is there anything you want to say before we head out?
I just want to say that Wallas Madden League, we don't discriminate. We always like people coming in. You know, I love seeing different types of play styles. I've been beat by some of the weirdest play styles of just randomness. And we try to get everybody in here. We just have a few select rules that everybody follows. That way we have a good time. You know, if you've done kind of one of those things where you're not doing so well in other leagues, it might just be the way it's designed. If we ever have an open spot, don't feel too bad to come here. We're always welcome trying new people out. That's all I got for now.
All right, Ben. This is I Played a Trick from Wallas Madden League, and I'm signing out. Thank you.
No problem. Have a good one, bro.
All right.